Breast Cancer Awareness Month has become a catalyst for saving lives and a rallying cry for survivors, patients, and advocates alike. October is when breast cancer stories are particularly important because it shows how anyone, young or old, rich or poor, family history or not, can be impacted by breast cancer. And as the campaign draws to a close, I sit down with three incredible women. Meet Ishita, a beauty blogger. Adam, who recently graduated from medical school, and the CEO of JoyNews Salon and Spa, Janet. Join our open conversation as we discuss our breast cancer fears. So ladies, thank you for doing this. Let's begin with how often we screen. How often we screen or not. Let me start with you, Adam. Yeah, because you are the doctor.
Well, ideally, we should screen every month after your menses, at least 5 to 7 days after your menses. However, for myself, I can say I do forget to do it.
Okay.
So let's say in a year, maybe 6 times. So I'm doing well. Like
oh, you do it 6 times?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Ishita, how often do you remember to do it?
How often do I remember? So, like, I was telling you, every time after I come out from a shower, when I'm putting my body lotion, I try to look for, if there is anything, if I see any difference in my breast or something like that. But I'm still not 100% sure whether I'm doing it the right way. But thanks to JoyNews, last time, I was here for a free screening. So that was officially my first time doing the screening, yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, yes.
Yeah, but Janet, you use the salon,
yes.
In October at least to help women figure things out.
Yes.
How often do you do it when it's not October?
Myself or myself?
Yes.
Oh, please, I'm as guilty as everybody else. I don't do it. But I'll tell you the story behind why I think this advocacy is important. About 3 or 4 years ago, when I was in the corporate environment, because I was there for about 20 years, and I slipped and fell when I was walking so briskly to attend a meeting. And then 2 weeks after, I felt something like a lump in my breast, and believe you me, I was so scared. I was scared and I was numb. I just called my husband. This is it. He says, well, just go check it out. So I go check it out, do all the tests and everything. And Mama, during that period, really, your life just flashes in front of you. And you wonder, what are the loose ends that I haven't tied? Is this how I'm going to go? Am I going to go to heaven? These kind of questions like that. So luckily for me, there was nothing, but I had a surgery and it cleaned it up. And since then, I've always thought that it's important for us to check it out. I mean, every time that you bathing, you can just do, and when you're not sure, like Ishita has just said, you just go to a clinic and check it out.
So can I pretend to be a doctor? I'm just pretending. So we're screening and we're asking the question of, how much do we know about cancer? So how much do we all know about cancer?
I think the word cancer scares me. And I think it scares a lot of people.
True, it terrifies me. It terrifies me.
It's so scary because I don't think they found any, medical solutions to it yet. So when you hear the word cancer, the first thing is, am I going to go? Is this how I'm going to go? So it terrifies me.
Yeah, even I as a doctor, like if I hear cancer, I'm like, wow, something. I would be scared. Like I don't want to hear any family member or myself. Like it's scary.
Yeah.
Should we be tracing to find out if there are people in the family who had it? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yesterday, interestingly, we were just having a chat with a group of ladies in the salon. And it came out something, I was really shocked actually when I heard it. The women as educated, as exposed as you think, they don't want to go. They're scared. They'd rather die in their ignorance. They don't want their family members to know. And it also came out yesterday that actually most women from the villages sometimes there's a stigma.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I heard there was a stigma associated with this.
Yes.
You know, and the fact that I'm going to lose my hair, is my breast going to be cut off? So many unknowns, I think, about this breast cancer, and I think I'm happy to see that the awareness is going up, and a lot of people are advocating for it, you know, for people to go and screen. So I think this is really fantastic. And I will encourage all our viewers that don't be scared. I think you have to, it's better to know.
It's better to know. I mean,
Or
you know,
what do you think, Ishita?
of course, it's better to know. You should not be ignorant.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to do is to educate women, to raise awareness about, you know, how important it is to get detected if you have the breast cancer, if the tumor is there, how important it is to detect in the first stage itself. Why not, you know, why do you want to live with it, and why don't you want your family members to know about it? It's better to be detected at an early age, diagnosed, and be happy for the rest of your life. I think it's very important to be healthy. Yeah.
I think the most important thing about getting to know early, especially in terms of breast cancer, is the earlier we know, the more options you have. And breast cancer doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to cut your breast. Like, nobody wakes up and says, I'm going to cut women's breast today. Like,
but you know, but I was saying a while ago that shouldn't we just simply get rid of the breasts? I mean, so that life will be easier for us.
It's very
it's very important.
It's very easy to say that, but when you go through it, I think that is the most painful time. So it's very easy for us to, you know, now joke about it and say these things, but I think it hits you hard when you actually go through any of these things, and touch wood, we should not get it. So basically, you know, as soon as I entered my 30s, then I realized that how important it is for me to be healthy. I need to be healthy to look after my family. Like, if I am not healthy, if I'm only concerned about my family's health, it's not going to work that way. Yeah, so.
And really, honestly, like Ishita is saying, you're saying, our breast is part of our identity.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
whether we like it or
whether
not.
we like it or not.
You know, it forms part of who we are. It's a nurturing part of us, and it's also attractive to our husbands or our partners,
Absolutely.
if I may say. So I don't think it's an easy thing at all.
It's not easy.
Some will opt for both of them to go off. But I think when it threatens your life, and your life is at stake, you just have to weigh the priorities and decide, my breast or my life. I mean, do I stay to look after my children? Because you
Exactly.
have
Yes.
So you have to weigh the options. And I think there are solutions, you know, to bring back your chest, if I may say, you know, right?
you have reconstruction, you have breast reconstruction.
Do we have anybody in the family that has? Yeah, we started. Anybody in the family that has cancer? And I'm linking that to support groups. Janet, you would know, in the corporate world, you hardly have friends. Everybody's busy, and when you get the unfortunate news of you having cancer, I think one of the people that you can rely on would be friends. But would they be there for you? I don't know. What's the history? What have we had?
You know, it's tricky. Personally, I have very few friends, and I mean real friends, not acquaintances, friends that you can talk to. But when I thought I had this scare, my first go-to was my husband. It wasn't my friends, you know, because you're not sure who will judge you, who will not judge you.
Who's going to spread the message?
Who's going to spread the message, you know, maybe not wanting to, but accidentally spreads the message. And during this time, you need all the support you can, emotionally, mostly emotionally and psychologically. So, well, my first go-to was my partner, but I believe if you don't have a partner, then you look for a family relation that you're close to, you know, that you can hang on to during these difficult times, because I'm sure it's really difficult.
Talked about how just the name breast cancer scares us.
Yes.
But what's your greatest fear? What do you feel you cannot do?
So firstly, the word for me, it terrifies me. I mean, scares would still be mild. Terrifies would be something that I'm like really, really scared of. So yeah. And I don't know. So I'll just tell you an incident. Just a few weeks back, one of my very close family member told me that, she has felt something in her breast, and I was taken aback. Believe me, today also, this morning when I was talking to her, I was like, see, get yourself checked as early as you can. I do not want to hear later that, I wish I could have done the screening earlier. I wish I could have checked myself earlier. And she's very close to me. Yeah, she's like my life. And I do not want anything to, happen for God forsake. Yeah, so I just requested her again just before coming for this interview that, please get yourself checked. I made sure, that one of my other family members keeps a check on her that whether she's going to the doctor or not. So, I don't know. It's really scary. I do not. And nowadays, it is not like, it's only the older women who are prone to breast cancer. It is people who are getting it at a very young age. And I think, like, you being the doctor, you might know of many cases. Yeah. And especially, I was just reading an article the other day about how women come, mostly in their last stage to the doctor saying that, oh, I can feel something. So the earlier you go, it's better. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. I've heard stories of people being diagnosed and leaving and not returning.
Yeah, they don't go back.
They don't go back. They don't go back.
Usually also, they come back, but when they come back, they're
worse. They're in the worst stage.
Yeah.
But I guess not coming back is due to so many things, either financially or afraid of the stigmatization associated with anything breast cancer or associated with the chemotherapy. Even the sound, the word chemotherapy scares me. The last time I went to Kolibu, and I saw ladies going through it, and I'm like, oh wow. These ladies are really, really brave. So I think we should support them. Companies, organizations, the little we can do financially to support them, that would be nice. The little we can do emotionally, even psychologically to support these ladies, I think is really important, because I don't think it's easy.
I've heard stories of people who tell themselves that, no, it is not me. I don't have it, even when it's
denial.
Absolutely.
That's when they go and they don't come back. There are people who also end up with some of the prophets in churches.
Give them lotions and potions.
But I think it's really sad, because I'll call on all the churches and such organizations out there. We all believe in God. We all believe in miracles to a certain extent, but that's why we have doctors who have been trained and they know what to do. So when you have such a situation in your church, I believe the best thing is to send the patient or the person to Kolebu or any other organization who can handle it and treat it, instead of praying, locking them in the rooms, taking them to the beach houses, etc. I don't think that's fair. Honestly, I don't think that's fair. Partners, husbands, friends, relations, we should encourage our ladies to go for the breast screening. I'm told there's some people who, families who say, no, even if you've detected something, we don't allow you to go for screening, we don't allow you to go for tests. Come on, I don't think that's fair. So much as we have a responsibility towards ourselves and our lives to go screening, I think the partners can also play a role, and the families can also play a role in supporting these ladies.
Absolutely. So this is the month of October. A lot of awareness has been created. After all, that's the theme for the month. What are we thinking we could do differently? After October has come, it will definitely go away. After October, what next?
We should continue.
Would we?
Would we is a nice question. But as much as possible, we should encourage everyone. We should continue supporting this. We should continue raising our awareness. We should continue advocating. And as many companies as can, if financially they can support the oncology unit. These ladies need help. They do need help. Okay.
So I think it should not stop in October. It should be a year-round activity of, getting the women aware about. So let's ourselves not wait for October to come and say, oh, now it is the month, I need to get myself screened. I shouldn't think. So that's what I would like to ask, the doctor, that how often is it necessary? Like, what are the steps involved? Like, we talked about pre-examining ourselves and, you need to feel your breast. And so, but after that, like, what is the next step involved? Because I do it myself, and I'm not sure. Like, I mean, what am I doing?
No, you're not alone.
I am not sure. Yeah, exactly.
Not sure, even though they tell you what to look for.
Exactly.
You don't even know if you're doing the right thing.
That's the thing. I have been taught that this is the way that, you know, the hand movement should be there, and this is the way that how I need to feel it. But I am not sure. I'm not a doctor, and you need somebody. So, and what after that? Like, you know, what is the next step?
We advocate for women who are older than 40 years to have a mammogram.
We're comfortable with our bodies, right?
Yes.
Absolutely comfortable.
Okay, and check.
Well, I am. I am comfortable, but I think there are a lot of people out there who are not really comfortable about their holding the breast and stuff like that. But you know, now we've been told early detection is key. So if you're not familiar with your body or you don't feel comfortable, I think you should begin to feel comfortable with your own body and feel there's no shame touching your own breast and trying to feel if everything is okay.
There was this one case where a couple came and it was her husband who said he felt something was wrong. Yes, he was like, nah, there's something wrong. And the was like, I don't see anything. I said, no.
But there was something.
There was something wrong.
I think that was good on the husband's part.
Yes.
So I was just going to ask, what can the men do? What can the men do? I mean, if they feel the breasts most, then they should also be able to detect when there are changes.
Well,
yeah, we could have had many examples
from couple
like
to
that.
couple.
Yeah, of course, that will be a special case. It depends on who.
Yes, and I think as well, should the test come out positive, the husband should play a key role in emotionally supporting their partners. Because you really need that. And there will be men, for example, who would say that, okay, my wife's breast is very key, I don't want you to. Please, when she has to and is key, support her. You know, there are other ways of finding satisfaction. I don't want to use the word that starts with X.
But I get you.
Yes, but I think there are other ways of finding satisfaction or pleasing each other, even if she has to go through that. You have to support her. You have to.
Yeah. Support is really key.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you.
For opening up.
Pleasure.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Yes. Janet, I think the next time we probably should be doing our hair and nails or something.
Why not? Please, feel free. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
you.
you for answering our
And Janet opened up her salon for us to have the conversation. Ishita, Edem, and Janet in that conversation, just ordinary women talking about what our fears are. It's the last day in this awareness month of breast cancer, and in studio, I'm opening the phone lines right about now. 0302-211-6910, 0302-211-69102. Dr. Josephine Nsaful is a general surgeon, breast unit, Kolibu Teaching Hospital, and she's here with Hajia Zainab Mohammed Sani. She's proprietors of Zamsa Academy West Adenta, but she's survived breast cancer for 12 years. Incredible story. Good morning, women. And thank you so much for your time here.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Hajia, you're good?
Very.
Okay. Doc, after listening to the women, I don't know if there are any myths or anything that you want to further clarify. There was a question of, after I examine, what next?
Okay. I think the number one thing we have to make very clear is when breast cancer starts, it's not painful. Most of the painful breast conditions turn out not to be cancer. And that's the one women run to hospital because you have pain. But when breast cancer starts, you feel fine, your body is fine, you may notice a little something, but no pain. So that's the number one myth. People expect it to be painful, but it's not.
Okay.
So any change at all in your breast, no matter how harmless looking, you have to get it checked out. I mean, the good news is most things are not cancer, but cancer is so serious such that if it is cancer, we need to catch it early. So watch out. Don't be expecting pain before you come.
Okay. Hajia, when did you discover that you had cancer? How did the news come to you?
It was a kind of boil or blister, like when you have a bite from an ant.
Okay.
That I saw below the nipple. And before that, I had already noticed other things, and I had severally gone to a health center, just like they asked, just for confirmation, you know, for reassurance. It's nothing. And each time I went, I think on 2 or 3 occasions, they told me they could not even see anything. They couldn't feel, but feeling, no, I could see.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was advised this time, okay, the nurses wouldn't check for me, but I should go and see a doctor in another health center.
Okay.
Which I did. And hitherto, I used to have boils under the armpits. Honestly, if the awareness were like it is now, one would have run to hospital. But with those boils, I never bothered to go to hospital.
Because it looked normal.
Normal. Yeah. So that was when I got to hospital. And just looking at the nipple, and also, you know, they also go under the armpit to check. And that was when she saw they were hard.
As in the doctor who attended to you?
Yes.
Okay.
So she just gave me a referral. She asked which hospital I want to go to. Then I opted for Kodebu, since it's always the last stop. Yeah.
Okay. Doc, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was going to say, you remember Haja said she felt something there, little like ant bite, but the nurses couldn't even see. And that is why we want women to do a breast self-examination. It's not really to find something now. The whole idea of examining your breast is to know your normal breast, such that when there's the slightest change, you will detect it. You see, when you go and see a doctor or a nurse, that's the first time they're examining your breast. You see, so you have to lead and direct and say that this has not been there before, then we can check it out. But if you don't know your normal breast, you may miss something, and by the time it's pretty obvious, it's very big. So we need women to check their breasts every month. Feel your breast and feel your armpits, like Haja said. Some of it just appears in the armpit first, and that is the clue.
Okay.
So you feel your breast, you feel your armpits, and you remember to squeeze the nipple looking for any unusual fluid. Everybody is allowed to have a little clear fluid, whitish. But when the color is funny, especially when it's beginning to look like blood, you want to get that checked out urgently.
Okay.
Because all those could be some signs of breast cancer.
Okay. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's speak to Alhaji Idrisu, who's joining us from Kintampo. Alhaji, good morning. Oh, apologies there. We lost Alhaji, but you too can give us a call. 0302-211-69102. So, Haja, do you remember what stage this was when the cancer was discovered?
I was telling doctor this morning, usually my ears are open, but with the stage, I never really asked.
Okay.
Yeah, but I remember telling my daughter, I think it was in the second stage or so. I can't really tell.
Okay.
But my breast was fine. It was still itself, just the dent, and the nipple denting in.
Okay. I'll come to how it affected your life, you know, how and how it ended, because you're alive today. We thank God for your life. You survived it, and this has been 12 years.
Yes.
So let's speak to Alhaji. Alhaji is back on the line. Good morning, Alhaji.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Very well, thank you. Thanks for calling.
You know, all along, you've been saying woman, woman, woman. Take it from me, I'm an 18-year survivor of breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
And I tell you, the early detection sometimes is not the problem, but the doctor who will take care of you. That is another problem.
Well, what's your story? How did you discover it?
Thank you. I grew up and met my grandmother, my mother, my sisters. None of them has ever been diagnosed with breast cancer. So one day, I just heard some vibration in my breast for some seconds, and that ends it. So I went to the first surgeon. He did his best. I took the sample to lab. The results came. I took it back to the hospital. Then, after a year, exactly, it came on the left breast tube. And I went back to the doctor. And he told me I should have waited small. But very unfortunately, the headache and pains I was going through. And by then, I don't think this therapy thing has been discovered. Or they don't know it. So, I did the second surgery. I've undergone 6 surgeries. And the last 3, I had them. That is where I think God has saved my life at Breast Care International at Odium Kumasi. That's where I went and had. So by then the thing has compounded.
What was the last time you had the surgery?
The first time was in the year 2000.
And the very last one?
Yeah, the last one is I think 2015.
Okay. You know what? I would like to talk to you, have a longer conversation. So please, just give your details to my producer. I'll get in touch right after the show. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your story with us, Alaji. Let's talk to Bennett. Bennett is in Hull. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Bennett, and when I was back in school, I also felt this pain in my chest. So I went to the clinic, and they said it's nothing, but after about 2 days, I started feeling some pains over there, and then a sore came. So, like, my nipple was, I don't know, there was a sore there, and then the nipple was gone for some time. I went back, and they gave me some painkillers and Mosiclaf. And after 2 weeks, the nipple came back again. Everything was normal. But I discovered that there was a lump over there. So I went back again, and they said there's nothing. But after 2 years now, I'm still feeling like a soft lump in my chest. So what should I do?
Okay, well, Bennett, hold on. Which facility did you visit? Which hospital?
Back then, it was in SHS, so I went to the school clinic.
Okay, but you haven't visited
any... I went to the hospital, at the regional hospital, and then the doctor checked, and he said it's nothing.
Okay.
It was like it's normal for men.
All right.
But up to now...
Bennett, just hold on, because I want the doctor to speak to you directly. What should he do?
He needs to ask for a referral, and then he can come and see us at Kolebu.
Kolebu, okay.
You know, like the first caller to also mention something about doctors. It depends on who you meet. It shouldn't be per se in the ideal system, but we have different levels, different grades. We have nurses, physician assistants, and even in doctors we have different.
Okay. And
I'm a surgeon, but I'm into breast cancer. So these days too, we subspecialize. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but I think we also need to take responsibility for our own health.
Okay.
So you see, both of them don't seem to be very happy with the first 1 or 2 contacts. And we have various levels of health facilities. Yeah. This is 2018. You are allowed to ask questions, and you are allowed to request for a referral. So if you're not satisfied and with the answers you are being given, with the treatment you are being given, I think you shouldn't feel shy.
Okay.
You can ask for a referral to the next level center, to a regional hospital, or to the teaching hospital. And when you come, we'll see it.
All right.
I mean, his doctor may be right. Maybe it's nothing, but we need to check it out to be
Bennett,
sure.
Bennett, are you still there?
Yes, I'm on the
How old are you, Bennett?
I'm 18.
18, okay.
Yes.
So it means that you can go to the regional hospital in Hull?
Yeah, that was where I went to.
Okay.
And they checked.
Well, he can ask specifically to see the surgeon at the regional hospital in Hull, and I know he'll do a good job.
Any surgeon?
There's one surgeon at the regional hospital.
Okay.
I know he'll do a good job of it.
Okay. Bennett, is this something that you can do? Go to the same facility, ask for the surgeon.
Okay.
Otherwise, leave your contacts with my producer. I think we should be able to do something together. So Bennett, leave your details with my producer, Michaela. Okay? We'll call you right back. Let's speak to Morris. Morris is in the Upper East region. Hello, Morris.
Hello, Mama V. Good morning.
Good morning, Morris. Thanks for holding. Let's hear you.
Okay. Thanks so much for this program. I think it's a very wonderful program. And when I was watching the previous session, your other ladies said that it should not be a 1 month thing. It should be a whole year. We are told that we, the men, could also support in helping our women in the breast cancer. The sucking I know is one, and also I want your panelists to throw more light on how the men can also help check.
Okay.
Yes, how we can help check
to
know that our women have breast cancer, and then we can aid that and support them to go for help.
Very good question, Morris. Before I come to that, though, let me talk to you, Haja. So, how was life after? I mean, you obviously did surgery.
Yes.
How soon after it was discovered?
I think it was about 2 months after it was discovered.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Kolebu.
Kolebu, yeah.
How was that period like for you?
Well, it wasn't easy having to travel from Adenta to Kolebu. But once you want to live, you want to get to the end of it. I was supported by my family, especially my husband. And that is another thing. Having it not so much in the open at first, because people will give advice. There's someone here, there's someone there, you know, and you may forget that you have to get to the health facility first. So it was just between my husband and I.
Okay.
And having gone through, and I was told it was.
What did you fear the most?
The most I feared was that I remember a statement I made that the worst is for the breast to go and I'll live. And I thank Allah I'm still alive to tell my story. Yeah.
We needed you to be alive to tell the story.
Yes.
How important, Doc, for Auntie Zainab to be sharing, for us to have survivors who tell their stories?
It's extremely important, and we rely on Auntie Zainab and a few others, because I have several experiences in a consulting room. I can spend 1 hour or more. In fact, several consultations. Every week, a young lady can come, and you're trying to explain to them the importance of going through the treatment, and they just are not ready to go through the treatment because of all the fears. But when I let a new patient talk to a survivor, somebody who's been through, within 10 minutes, the job is done. You see, mine is theory, if I should say. But when somebody has been through, tells you their stories, shows you their scars, it's easy to believe it, you see. So really, we rely a lot on our breast cancer survivors. Barely a month or two ago, a lady came to my consulting room, and she's 11 years a survivor. She comes for her checkup once a year, which is what she needs to do. Then I asked her that, oh, that's wonderful. October is around the corner. When we go out to radio stations, would she come with us to tell her story, to encourage others? She said no, but I don't fault her. And the reason is because of how we talk and point fingers and look at each other.
Even after they've survived?
Yes.
Wow.
You see, so we should be very careful, all right? Auntie Zainab is a very strong woman, and she's decided to share her story so that others will not be left behind. But you're a hero.
I mean, if you've survived it and you're sharing your story,
exactly.
We should be hailing you.
Yes, but you know how we are as a people. So I think we should be careful how we talk. And when someone comes to you and has been diagnosed, don't be directing them to all sorts of funny places. Try this, do this. Oh, a friend's sister, somebody had this and went here. No. So one thing is, when somebody gets the initial diagnosis, friends and family give all sorts of wrong advice. And the husbands, Auntie Zainab is blessed for Allergy to support her like that. We have all sorts of men out there. Mama V, it's sad, where a man will advise the wife not to go for surgery, not to go for chemotherapy. No, don't let them do this. Some can go to the point of leaving the woman. You know, but as a woman too, you need to think about yourself and your life. And if you have kids, you need to be there for them. As for the men, when you are not around, you know what happens. They will just find another wife. But we are pleading to the men to support their wives. There's more to marriage than that one breast. So we need support from men. But we also have a lot of supportive men. I'm not putting down all men.
Sure.
But I think the men could do better.
Let's follow that up with what Morris asked. What can the men do exactly?
For the men, what we need is moral support. I know he asked something about sucking. There's no evidence that sucking the breast will prevent breast cancer. Well, neither will it cause breast cancer, so it's harmless. The important thing is actually breastfeeding a baby. Because that has all sorts of protective hormonal changes. So we encourage women to breastfeed as long as possible, up to 2 years if you can. And it actually gives some protection against breast cancer. But as a man, what you can do is the moral support. Fair enough, if you notice something in your wife's breast, you must bring it to her attention and you must accompany her to hospital and give her the moral support. No matter what.
How many of those you see are accompanied by men?
Very few. I won't say none, but very few.
Okay.
So a lot of times when a woman comes in and we suspect breast cancer, we do the biopsy. Usually we will tell them, when you are coming with the results, come with your partner. Even if you don't have a partner who's willing to come or you're not married, come with someone, your sister, your mother. It's just because it's not only about the men. Everybody needs some support.
Sure.
Social support, somebody to hold your hand, walk you through, to be there. You know, psychologically, it's difficult for them to go through. Sometimes you can ask Auntie, the surgery itself is not painful, but you just need somebody to be there.
Yeah. Auntie Zainab, you mentioned your husband. How about your children? Did they know at the time what was happening to you?
Two of them were in school. That's the first two.
Okay.
And it was the last one, who was then about 6, who asked why I always went to hospital. I mean, we always went to hospital because after dropping them off at school, then we'll say, okay, we're going to hospital to come. That was when she asked, and all I said to her was my breast. And she went, breast cancer. Yes. That was even when probably I was pushing that off my mind, but she mentioned it, and all I could say was, Aflofu, Indagbani, Yami Pengu, may God forbid. And the way I said it too, she quelled back.
Okay.
But much later when she saw that I was myself, and she came and was like, Mommy, I won't mention the word again. But then, what you said, and this is how, you know, it's always good to interact with your kids. Yeah. So then she learned a bit of Dagbani as well, because it's not a word that anybody would use. But then hearing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, having gone through it, I don't know whether I'm jumping.
No,
your
please feel free.
Questions. The most difficult time for me was when I was undergoing the chemotherapy.
Okay.
With the hair going and all. Yes, the 3 who were home would see me differently.
So you were kind of changing.
Changing, yeah, because you lose the hair, darkening in the palm and the nails, the weakness. Of course, weakening body would, okay, she's sick. That is fine. But the hair, I had such long hair, and I just went to my hairdresser, told her I wanted her to just cut the hair off so that I would let them know I had just gone for a haircut. But after that, you know, just put your hand over the head and then
it all falls out.
It all so that they will not get
But that
scared.
can be very emotional to you, the individual, especially when you loved long hair. Short hair was not your choice.
Well, it was, but like I told you, the worst cancer could do was for the breast to go. And since I was well informed, with time, I'll get everything back to normal. I wasn't too bothered, but they used to play with the hair.
Okay.
Whenever I removed my veil. And,
okay. As in your kids?
Yes, my kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for my husband, he had, he also has some kind of, what do we call it? Counseling.
Okay.
Yes.
Because he was your main support?
Yes, yes. It was only when we had to go in for the surgery that the rest of the family, the extended family, was informed, and they all gave their support. They chose those who would come to be at the hospital, both from my mother's side, father's side, and yeah.
So you were in the hospital for how long?
About 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Doc, this is surgery and aftercare. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to be when it is discovered, when you're diagnosed, how soon do you do the surgery? I mean, everybody does surgery, or
if you have early breast cancer, we are aiming at a cure. So we will operate because we have to remove the cancer from your body. Those who come when it's a bit late, they don't get to have surgery because it has spread. And there are two types of surgery we do. Either we take out the cancerous lump when it is small, or we remove the whole breast because the lump is big. Some people actually have a small lump, but when we do the mammogram, we can see other tiny things you can't feel, and we know that it would be dangerous to leave that breast there. So we'll discuss with you and see which of the two options best suits you. And either of them will actually be able to cure you of breast cancer. So yes, the surgery is needed. Nowadays, we've cut down the hospital stay to 1 week.
Okay.
We've cut down the hospital stay to 1 week. And when you come in, you get your biopsy done. Within a week, you will have your results. And then you do other tests, and we'll give you a treatment plan, and we'll book you for surgery. Okay. So from the time of your first visit to hospital, you probably would have your surgery within a month.
Okay.
Within a month. Because also we have to give you time to adjust.
Okay.
And we'll give you the news in stages, yes. And then most people too have to go through chemotherapy. Most people, not all. But most people generally will get chemotherapy. Yes, unfortunately, your hair will fall out, as Hajia said. But like she also said, afterwards, it all grows back.
So how is it? You try the chemo, and if it doesn't work out, you do the surgery? Is that how it works?
No. You need both. You see, the thing about breast cancer is the lump in your breast is not going to kill you. It's just a lump in your breast. It will not kill you. But tiny cells break off that lump and go into your blood. And when it's in your blood, you feel fine. You don't notice any change. But one day, it ends up, those cells end up in your lungs or in your brain, in your bone or your liver. And you can imagine cancer growing in your lungs. It takes over your whole lung. You can't breathe. And then what happens as a human being if you can't breathe? Or it goes into your brain and you can start convulsing and other things. It's really not pleasant. So the surgery is to remove the cancer from your breast. So what about the little cells in your blood? That's where the chemotherapy comes in. So the chemotherapy is a drip. So it goes directly into your blood, all over your body, and it can destroy all the tiny little cancer cells from there to prevent the cancer from coming back. So we have a few patients who are not afraid of surgery. I've had the surgery but refused chemotherapy. And the results are not that good. So within a short while, months or a year or two, they'll come back and the cancer is now in the lung or liver. And unfortunately, at that stage, we will treat you. We will manage the disease. We'll improve things. But ultimately, we cannot cure you.
Wow.
Some people too are actually not afraid of chemotherapy. They're afraid of the surgery. So they'll do the chemotherapy. And you know what happens? You actually see the lump in your breast shrinking. And it can even disappear from the chemotherapy because the medicine is that strong. But if we don't remove the source from there, give it a year, it grows back. So you need both. We have to remove the source, and then we have to deal with the one in your blood. So you need surgery, and then you need chemotherapy to make the treatment complete.
Hajia, were there fears, especially after the surgery, that this was going to come back?
Well, yes, there were. But going through the report, I read all those portions were taken out.
Yes, we checked the margins of the report. We checked, they studied it very well in the lab. So we have to check and make sure we took all out.
Okay. So you almost became a doctor then? Because you could understand everything that was happening.
Yes. Those that I didn't understand, when I get to the hospital, I asked.
And that's what we want patients to do.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. We are there for you. Ask and be interested.
Maybe it's because the Kolebu doctors, I mean, that's like a central point. When you talk about breast cancer, when you go to that particular unit, maybe the doctors are nicer. You probably not find probably not find nicer doctors elsewhere.
Oh, these these days things have changed. It's not like how it used to be 10 years, 20 years ago. We are all improving.
Tell us about that. Yeah, sure.
I think I asked for a second opinion, and this was why my treatment delayed a bit. Haven't gotten the reports
even from Kolebu.
Okay. I still demanded, a second opinion.
Sure.
Which was granted. It was difficult though, until I told the doctor, yes, I know how, it's important for us to go through it. But it's my body, and I can't just let go like that. And believe me, if I hadn't done the second opinion test, that was through MedLab, thanks to my nephew, who kind of also hinted me. Because people see me like this and they are like, no, you never went through it. It's never true. Yes. You talk to people just when I started to, open up and let people know these are some of the things that go on. I remember a banker telling me, Mommy, I don't believe you. You just went
because
in
you
for
don't
AIDS.
Look it.
I don't look
you don't look it. There's nothing that says that.
But that is it.
That's because she came early.
Yeah.
You see, this is in the final stages of breast cancer that you now become ill. You lose weight, all those things.
Okay. Let's end with some statistics, because I know that Kolebu, at least Kolebu, you record the patients, the people who come in. Is there an increase or we've gone down?
When we look at what comes in at Kolebu, every year we get about 400 new cases. So in addition to those who are already living with breast cancer, every year we add 400 new cases. Every year we add 400 new cases. When we look at figures for the whole of Ghana, throughout the country, our records are not that great. We don't have a central cancer registry, so from various institutes. But let's say in 2012, our estimates, which were done by WHO, is that we have about 2,000 new cases all over Ghana. And then the last results released from 2016, now it is about 4,600. Wow. So we are actually seeing more breast cancer. And the number of deaths to, estimated deaths to, has also gone up. And that's only because when we look at the figures from Kolebu, we have the stages of breast cancer, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Stage 3 and 4, which are the latter stages, we have 75% or almost 80% of our patients coming at that stage. That's the stage where cure is not. But from stage 1 and 2, that's early breast cancer. And our cure rates are comparable to what's in the US, from about 95 to 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes. So we have a lot of survivors like Auntie Zainab. She's not alone, but they chose to come early.
Okay.
But most of us choose to pass here and pass there and try this and try that and come stage 3 and 4. At stage 3 and 4, you shouldn't expect too much of us.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to you for your time. Auntie Zainab, thank you so much for sharing. And Doctor, we always do this every month. We're advocating for us to do it every year. So who knows? We can have this conversation sometime again.
Sure.
But thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And that's our breast cancer conversation. Stay with us. When we come back, we're talking about the Dean Abochi Honorary Lecture with some students of the GIMPA Faculty of Law.